It's a Bitcoin podcast. The only one that's making your money is you. Listen to the Bitcoin podcast. So hold on and listen to the Bitcoin podcast.
What are you doing out in the snow? It's 32 degrees below 0 Celsius, and my dad is working hard, looking beyond the extents of hypothermia, hypochondria, and all the elements combined. He works to build a fence. A true servant, a true worker, a true exhibit of hard work and ethics. This is my father, in whom I am well pleased.
Yeah, we got a commercial now, Jess. That's what happens when you get 100 dads. You get a commercial right afterwards.
Okay.
So,
It's a good commercial.
I mean, it's pretty solid shit, you know? Well, welcome to the Bitcoin podcast, everyone. This is episode 381. I'm the host that talks first, Dee.
And I'm the host that talks third, Jesse Broke.
Yeah. If you missed that blip in time, the host that talks second, Corey, is unavailable today. I think he told me he was trying to see if he could squat 10 bags of potatoes at the same time. And I said, Corey, that seems not logical given the physics of the pendulum-like behavior of the bag of potatoes. You might hurt your back. And he said, I am a physicist, bitch. I'll be the one to decide if I can squat these potato sacks or not. And I said, all right, man, do what you do. I know you got a low center of gravity, so you have that in your corner. Anyways, we're going to get started with the show today. Today's show obviously is brought to you by us. We brought it to you, right? And what we work on is the Dad DAO. What is the Dad DAO? The Dad DAO is a penchant for dads, crypto dads, right? You don't have to be a crypto dad, but you should be a crypto dad if you're into crypto. Right, what we're trying to do here is create an environment which people can come, learn, grow, build, and add value to the DAO, right? Now I know what you're thinking. How is this gonna make my pockets moon? I'm into crypto for the tech, baby. The technology of my pockets going up. It's not that for you. Please go away. What the Dad DAO is a place where we can enrich ourselves and enrich the ecosystem of Algorand, starting at Algorand and other chains as we see fit, easy to build on, or just need help, right? It's like we spend all these times in these online communities, and what is it? Just a waste of time. But in the Dad DAO, you could not waste your time. You could turn your time and effort into value in your pockets and others, because that's what we're about. We're dadding. We're dadding all across crypto. Right, so if you're a dad and that aligns with you, click the link in the show notes and join the DAO, right? Right now, you're going to get, what are they going to get, Jesse? Tell them what they're going to get.
Tell them what they're going to get. They're going to get access to minting the Dad DAO NFT, which will give them permissions and roles associated with joining the Discord.
There we go. Future functionality TBD, right? But what we're trying to build is a highly functional DAO that is actually decentralized and actually autonomous, right? Not just fake decentralized and fake autonomous. So let's get into the show. So today's episode is called Don't Call Me Solana, because Solana is so fetch right now.
What's going on with Solana?
NFTs, Silicon Valley is basically slurping it up like a room temperature Slurpee.
Yeah. So wait, why does everybody say Solana is basically home to a lot of VC money?
Well, I mean, if you just like crypto, the one thing about cryptos is it's really easy to see who has bags of what,
Mhm.
right? And so all the Silicon Valley, I guess we'll call them celebrities,
Mhm.
Balaji, that one other guy, Praftiki, I can't pronounce his last name. A16Z, Ariana Simpson, I think her name is. Like just everybody who's Silicon Valley oriented. And I don't know if she's Silicon Valley oriented. I think she actually is in New York. But they're just really pumping Solana the same way in which they did EOS.
Hmm.
Right, EOS was supposed to be the end all be all and the saving grace to high transaction throughput. But what people don't realize about Solana is it's really just kind of built for one purpose, which is high frequency trading. I mean, it does that very well. So I will hats off to Solana for the high frequency trading tip. They're doing some TPS, baby, transactions per second, baby, which I don't even know. Like transaction per second to me kind of seems like it's so situational on how important it needs to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter if you're like, oh, my blockchain does 50 bajillion transactions per second, and it's like to do what though? Like to do what? Why do
I
you
think
need?
most of the chain activity on Solana is NFTs, right? Like I don't think they actually do.
Mhm.
Like FTX doesn't use them, do they?
They might have a little DEX action going on.
They do. Okay.
It's possible. I don't know. The hottest story on the streets right now for me, Jesse, has got to be chicken, right?
Yeah.
I love telling people about my cock. I love showing my cock. I love cock talk. I like it all, right? I got cocks laying eggs every single day. That
Hmm.
egg's worth money.
Hmm.
There's a lot of cock talk in my life right now, and I'm okay with it. I am. And our Avalanche Slack channel has become cock talk all day, every day. So,
Yeah.
you know,
People are doing all sorts of things with their cocks.
yep,
Yep.
showing the cocks, linking the cocks all over places, staking the cock. It's
Wow.
yeah. So,
You ever wonder? So like most NFT projects, if you look at the chain activity, you can kind of see the unique addresses dwindling as the
mhm.
price goes up. I wonder if you've ever looked at the statistics on the chicken project.
I haven't. I would love to see that. Is the unique address like a really good? How do you feel about that metric of unique address? Which, by the way, this is just a pause for the cause. If
Hmm.
data is something you enjoy in life, like if you like looking at numbers, finding relations, and looking at things and trying to find indications, then crypto is where you need to be because there is data out the ass. But anyways, this metric that Jesse's talking about is unique address. What's a unique address, Jess?
No, I'm just talking about like one person holding multiple chickens and kind of scooping or sweeping the floor.
I know, but what is a unique address?
Like one address that I mean, it's unique. What do you mean?
I'm just explain to the people, bro. Stop being a professor. Like you're
So
talking
so
like
what
a
I mean is
professor
that
right now.
the NFTs are not becoming more distributed, right? So if one account had 5 chickens, if that account now has 3 chickens and the floor is going up, and then now the total amount of unique addresses, meaning the total amount of people holding chicken NFTs is going up, then that's good. But it would be bad if the supply is becoming concentrated within a smaller and smaller amount of chicken holders, right?
That's right. That's absolutely right. Audience, if you can imagine someone just plucking the cap off of Jesse's head, he would have a very wrinkled brain. His brain is highly wrinkled. It's
No, what I was gonna say is just look
more
into those
wrinkled
accounts and
than
see how much
unattended
avalanche they
aluminum.
have. So you can see how
Yes.
much liquidity they potentially have to keep feeding into
Yeah.
the chicken stuff.
So if
'Cause
the
the
number
music will
of unique
stop.
addresses, absolutely, the music will stop. But the number of unique addresses per that hold basically the distribution of chicken holders is what makes it a sound project. If it's just like 10 wallets that own all the chicken, then obviously this is not a sound project. But if it's thousands, potentially tens of thousands of wallets that own a little bit of chicken, right? We really could only have what? Up to 10,000 unique addresses that own 10,000 chicken, right?
Oh, yeah, so there's 10,000. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can't have partial. You can't have
Yeah, you can't have
fractional
partial.
NFTs.
So
I mean, you
so
can,
if
but not for that project.
yeah, and then again, if there's 10,000 unique addresses that each own one chicken, then those chickens aren't really moving, right? So that's a really good metric, man. What is it? What should you call it if you divided unique addresses by number of assets? Then what would that be called? Would that be called unique addresses per assets?
Yeah, I think you're overthinking this. You just want to
No,
like
we
plot
need
it
to
out.
No, we gotta market this, bro. This is not that easy. We gotta market this. Like we gotta make it something.
Okay.
We could call it like uh the the distribution. No, that's stupid. I don't know. My brain's not working that well today, but nevertheless, it's a thing to look at. And Jesse has that number right now, actually.
No, I don't have the number. I know
Jesse
it
does
had around
not.
1,800 unique addresses that owned
Jesse
all
does
of the
not have that
chickens,
number.
but I don't know
Sorry,
where it's at
audience.
now. Yeah.
Jesse has let you down.
Oh my
Jesse has
god.
let you down. So last week we were making predictions. This week we're not. This week I wanted to talk about something, Jesse, that I believe you don't care about, but I, for one, know is extremely important to the long-term health and sustainability of this entire industry.
Okay.
Damn, bro, you're supposed to build up the suspense with the
Oh, sorry.
audience.
Sorry.
You're just like, okay, what is it? Go. Are you working right? Are you doing that
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
where you
yeah.
work while we
Doing a little bit of
record?
work. Doing a little bit of work.
We've got to record a show. We've got to stop working
No,
so
I'm
we can
responding
record.
to a person in the dad now. They're asking a question.
Okay, what did they ask?
They asked, and where does the money for the grants come from? Question mark. Algorand Foundation? Question mark.
Yeah, it comes from the Algorand Foundation.
Yeah.
Is that how you answered it? Yeah. Okay. Well, the cliffhanger there was mining, and specifically proof of work mining, and specifically Bitcoin proof of work mining. The hash rate of Bitcoin is at new all-time highs, and that's after China'd, right?
Mhm.
So everybody said, if you guys have been in this space long enough, you've heard that, oh, government crackdowns, blah 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 blah. Crypto is approaching a point where it's impervious to that, right? And so China was like, yeah, no more mining. Bitcoin's pretty much banned. You can't do anything with it, and miners aren't allowed. So the miners were like, damn, B, we got to come up with a strategy, yo. So they did. They all moved to America, and now all the mining pretty much exists in the U.S.
Is it?
And a lot of it. It's a lot of it. Like it's no mystery that like a lot of those miners came here to the States.
I read some articles about how people were bringing over all that mining stuff and bringing it over to Texas.
Yeah, there's a lot. I think there's two watt, big a watt. There's two big-a-watt mining facilities going around Austin, Texas. That's
Hmm.
just Austin, Texas. Texas likes things like that, right?
Yeah.
Texas is a big fan of old making money off energy, right? So Texas is into that, and there's some other places. I think Minnesota and Dakota are also kind of dibbling dabbling. There's I wouldn't be amiss if there was some action going out on New Mexico. You know.
Hmm.
So, by the way, how disappointed are you if you're Mexican and you go to New Mexico and you're like, this is way worse than Mexico. It's so small and hot.
I've never been to Mexico. Oh no, it's not Mexico, but New Mexico.
Let me tell you something. It's not that cool of a place. I'm sorry if any of you guys listening are from New Mexico and you're like, hey, that's where I'm from. I'm just here. I'll be the first to tell you. The New Mexico's not it doesn't have a lot going on besides like I guess you could ski. There's mountains out there, but
You
other than
can
that,
ski in New Mexico?
it's desert and flat. Yeah, you can ski in New Mexico.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
That's good. I thought it was all desert.
Well, you can't just ski, Jesse. You can snowboard too. So,
Oh, okay.
well, desert climates, it's super hot, super cold.
Yeah.
So when it's wintertime and it gets super cold and then the ice doesn't melt and the snow doesn't melt, then you go on the mountains and you. Anyways, we should be talking about crypto, right? So I think crypto is in a unique here to stay. So typically right now, audience, if you're listening, we would be experiencing what's called a super bear market, right?
Super bear market.
Like where the price drops like 80% and people are like, well, I guess I got to go back to McDonald's. I guess I got to go start slinging burgers again because my value is not what it was. And the price is slipping downward, right? But it's not slipping downward in chunks that are like destroying people's soul.
Mhm.
It's just correcting a little bit because we had a crazy year last year. Like the price of things just went bananas.
Doesn't it feel
But
like the past 2 years?
yeah,
Crypto volatility and
exactly.
stuff.
Like, and so when I look at the price continuously going down a little bit week over week, but then I look at how long it's come and just how early we are. Like, I, I, it's hard for me to put my mind around how early I was compared to how early I still am. Like when I'm walking, I'm still on ramping people, Jesse. It's what I do. It's in me. It's a part
Mhm.
of my soul. And I listen to the questions they ask, and I'm like, this is 10 years old now. Like, how do you not know about Coinbase? Like, simple stuff. How do you not know? And the people don't, right? They're living their lives. They just don't. It's never gonna get into the zeitgeist until it has to. Like when your employer is like, "Hey, I'm only paying you in crypto, so figure your life out."
Mhm.
And we're so long from that
Yeah.
that just there's so much opportunity in crypto because it's just crazy how early we
So how
actually are.
long? I was actually listening to a podcast earlier this morning
Which
about.
one? Joe Rogan?
Um,
Joe Schmogan?
no, you know what? It actually wasn't a podcast. It was an audiobook. It was an
Mm,
audiobook, I think, called The Psychology of Money.
Get Rich or Die Trying?
No, it had to do
Oh,
with just the psychology. Well, not to reiterate the title, but yeah, I mean, what the mind goes through
hmm
when when a person comes into um, a certain amount of money,
yeah,
and the mentality it takes to not only to get there but to also maintain it, right?
yeah.
And then they kind of did like a little bit of a history lesson about money and about the the different eras in which money kind of you could make a lot of money, I guess, right?
hmm
And one of the eras was the dot-com bubble, right? And it has me thinking, if Bitcoin kicked this whole thing off, right, in 2011 or
hmm
2000, like let's just say 2010, 2011, somewhere there, right? How many years do we have left until we hit that dot-com bubble burst, like the 2000, the 1999?
Mm.
Because like when did the internet begin really for everybody? Like
I don't know, man.
1987?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think the internet really began for mainstream in 1995, AOL.
Oh, okay,
I think
okay.
that was 95. It could have been 93. Let me see. I would have been 9 years old, so 1994? No, it was before it got to me because I was obviously 8. So I would say 1992, 1993.
Okay.
Alicia probably knows. She's probably like Googled it. She's like 1992. There we go. Look at that.
You do?
Pays to be old.
So about 8 years then.
Yeah, it took
7 or 8 years. Yeah.
right? But we're not even to the AOL point in crypto, right? There's nothing in crypto that's as easy as log in, you've got mail, and then you're surfing the web. Let me take that back. Let me take that back. There are things in crypto that are as
Mhm.
easy as connect wallet, and now all of a sudden you're surfing the Web3.
I would say that exists, right? Like
It
OpenSea has
exists.
given a lot of people who otherwise don't know anything about crypto the ability to buy NFTs
hmm
and flip them or try their hand at flipping them. I
Yeah,
feel like there's enough access points that we're getting a lot of people who don't necessarily understand the whole ecosystem, but they can swipe a credit card or they can connect a connect an account to their bank account and
yeah.
load it up with money.
What is that for money though? Like, so for example, what I mean by that is the internet back in AOL days was just pushing around information for the
Mhm.
most part, right? Like famous websites were like baseball stats, which is just a collecting information and then showing the information.
Mhm.
But what does it mean to have an AOL moment? And when you're playing with things, you're playing with real electronic value, like digital value. Like you're not just sending information, you're sending value, you're communicating with value. It's sometimes it's really hard to wrap your mind around. It is. I'm not gonna lie. Even for still this day, like I can't sometimes elucidate or enunciate exactly how powerful this stuff is, right?
Mhm.
Because I can't. I mean, I just imagine like somebody back in the day, like, yeah, internet, like my computer will talk to your computer, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
I don't want your computer to talk to my computer. Like, why do, why do I need
Communication
that?
has really come far in the past like 4 decades. It's pretty nuts.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm rambling at this point about the
Well, back to my
awesomeness
question.
of
When
crypto.
does this end? When does the music stop?
When powerful people lose money.
Oh,
That's
really?
just like all times when music stops. When powerful people start losing money, the music stops, so everybody stops getting to have fun, and then only a select few get to have fun. And
Mm.
that's just it.
Do you think crypto will hit that moment where powerful
Mhm.
people lose enough money that
Oh yeah.
the whole music stops for everybody?
I think banks are salivating. I think banks and large funds are salivating at crypto right now because they're like, oh my God, so much unregulated fun. I can make DeFi products and nobody even has to know who I am. I could start siphoning value from me. Like, come on, man. Like, there's just people salivating at the opportunity to take advantage of the average Joe,
Mm.
especially in the financial sector, bro. That's what they do. They're like, we're gonna take a loan, we're gonna take a mortgage, wrap it in another mortgage, wrap it in a loan, leverage that shit, and let you get your house. It's like, wait, what? How does okay, I guess I'll sign the papers. Right. So I think that
Yeah.
like as soon as it starts to get super duper ugly and people lose big that have money,
Mhm.
then that's when the music stops.
What about when what is it? What is it? Something Saylor, Michael Saylor, the guy with
I don't,
micro strategy. What if he starts losing money? Because isn't his dollar cost average like 40 something thousand Bitcoin, like 40
I
something
don't,
thousand dollars?
I don't know the stats of his purchases, but I do know that his company wasn't really going anywhere until he decided to open up the treasury and expose it to crypto or
Mm.
specifically Bitcoin. I think that's all he buys is Bitcoin, which is a great Bitcoin's a great argument if you're too risk averse to really dive into crypto and what it's becoming, but you're not risk averse. So, yeah, like you're so risk averse, you're like, nah, I don't know if I want to hold any cock and stake my egg. Like that's weird, right? But if you're less risk averse than the person who's like, I'm just gonna do my pension and my cash and my mutual funds and call it a day, right? So I think that he's being rewarded right now for being less risk averse. You know what I'm trying to say. My brain is not working properly today, but he's less risk averse than someone who's super conservative and more risk averse than.
Yeah, there are some products in crypto that are pretty high risk, and you can lose a lot of money.
Yeah,
And I
for
don't think
sure.
he's exposing his company to that level of risk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some people roll the dice though, man. They do.
yeah, yeah.
So, but I hope that answers your question.
No, well, no, like, do we have 2 years left until the
No, long time.
long
Go
time?
by market cap, right? It was $8 billion.
Hmm.
Sorry, it was $8 trillion when the dot-com bubble burst in
Okay,
2000, right?
I didn't know that.
That's
Okay.
that's what? That's 20 years ago. So
Hmm.
what's $8 trillion in today money?
I'm not sure. You want me to look it up?
No, let me do an inflate. I'm gonna do an inflation calculator. Let me see if those exist. There's all
Yeah, they
kinds of
do.
crap. All right, inflation calculator. Here we go. If in the year 1999
I got you, fam.
I
So you want
purchased
8 trillion, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, 1 second. 1,000 million billion.
13. 13.
Yeah.
So if we go by market cap and humanity doesn't learn its lessons,
Yeah.
then this market could balloon up to 13 trillion. And right now it's sitting at what? 2?
Well, right now, I'm not sure. 2 point something, yeah?
There we go.
2.2, 2.1,
There we go.
2.125.
So 2.125. What's 13 divided by 2.125? 6
But wouldn't you use the like peak, right? Which is like more like 2.9?
trillion?
Yeah, we peaked at 2.9 trillion as a whole. Let's just say three,
Okay. So just say
right?
3. So
So
13 over 3.
yeah,
Looks like
exactly.
we
So
still got.
4x left. Yeah.
Yep.
That's about one more cycle.
Yep.
Yeah. So like, let's say this bear market is like 2-3 years,
Mhm.
and then another bull run for like maybe a year or
A
two.
year and a half.
So in the next 4 years, it's going to be over.
Why do you say it so matter of fact?
Wait, yeah. I'm just guesstimating, right? Aren't we all? It should be like near the .com era of market cap after one more bull run.
So 4 years from now, 2026, you think
Yeah.
that's when the bubble pops and we drop back down to reality. A Bezos and a Zuckerberg are born, who have been forging their existence in crypto starting 5 years from now. I mean, sorry, 5 years ago, right? And that's it. Only 2 people win. 4
Mhm.
people. No,
Wait,
there's a lot more winners
why
off
are
of
we
the
saying
internet
only 2 people win?
because those are the 2 most prominent, right? But there's a lot more winners from the internet than just Bezos and Zuckerberg,
But
right?
that's
There's
the internet. You're
fucking
not using
Google and
blockchain, right?
Netflix. Yeah, I'm just trying to draw comparisons to I'm just trying to draw comparisons to the 2 markets.
Do you think they
That's
have
all.
exposure to crypto?
Of course,
Yeah,
without a doubt.
without a doubt.
Smart
I love
people
how
have exposure to
confident you
crypto,
are. It's
Jesse.
like so certain.
If you are a smart person, you have exposure to crypto. Point blank period. Why wouldn't you? It's a fucking dream tech. It's a life-changing technology. Like history is forever changed. There's
Yeah.
no doubt about that. The cat is out of the bag. It's changed, right?
It's all chickens all the way down here from
Nothing's
all the.
gonna put the cock back in the barn. Okay, nothing. Cock is out. All right. The
You
cock
really
is.
like that project.
I'm a fan of it because
You should have gotten to like Solana NFTs. You'd have been really happy with at least those two
I
are
only
more
have so much
consistent.
capacity in my brain, and
I
right
know.
now the only thing I can think about is cock. So,
I,
let's move on to let's move on to a different subject. Okay. Uh, what's Coin Gecko?
Queen Gecko.
Sorry, Alicia distracted me. Oh, Coin Gecko. Wow. I can't read. Jesus Christ.
Did you know? Wait, maybe I'm wrong here.
Mhm.
Did you know that Warren Buffett made most of his money from Geico?
I would be careful about making those kind of proclamations. I don't know enough about Warren Buffett's
Wait, hold
portfolio.
on. Let me just look at that.
Yeah, you might want to be careful with that. He's made a lot of money in a lot of ways. That's like saying, like, did you know Pamela Anderson made most of her money on erasers? School erasers? Um,
Yeah, he had Geico
all
at
right.
some point. That's so long
So
ago.
there's been a lot of chatter in the Slack, and what's awesome about our Slack is that it's a place where people learn. Most of the chatter this week has been about Avalanche, which isn't surprising because we've become somewhat of a little micro Avalanche community because of how much time and effort we put into
It's
talking
like
about it.
a lot of
Um,
people also work there.
but yeah, that's true. How do you feel about like the X chain, C chain, P chain situation?
What do you mean? How do I feel about it?
What do you think is the most effective chain? Like, if Avalanche is only going to be better Ethereum, is it really that cool? Like that's what I think about a lot. Like Avalanche is just better, faster Ethereum. What makes it cooler? And there's this whole X chain situation going on. It's a little bit slow, and then you've got
Mhm.
the P chain, right, which is the proof of stake. You know where Avalanche is getting its validators from, or where the validation is taking place. But
Mhm.
I just can't help but wonder, like, if your only thing is to be a better, faster Ethereum, then
That's good. That's already a good thing, isn't it?
I guess,
Like
but
if you're what somebody else wants to become and they're like the market leader for smart contracts, isn't that pretty good?
that's a great. I don't know. Let's ask the audience if anybody's even watching. Well, we got like a couple people watching right now. We record at such a time that we're not going to get a lot of people, but um, is Avalanche okay just being a better Ethereum? I think that's a good question to ask. I think Slack. I think you guys should try to tackle that one too.
I think there are
Um,
problems though, if you ask me. After reading the white paper and kind of seeing what they've done so far, I mean, I've talked about it.
what's the problem?
Well, lightweight isn't what they defined. Like they defined being able to run a node as very easy and lightweight, right?
Hmm.
That's kind of true, but like you can't run it on like a Raspberry Pi, right?
Hmm.
It's just not possible. There's what else did I talk about? Governance. That was a
Here's
huge thing. That's not rolled out yet, right? That's huge.
yeah,
They should have that. They should have had that like a long time ago, no?
they're waiting.
Okay. Um
Okay,
yeah, I mean
okay.
I think my beef is with them not following their white paper for like 3 or 4 key things that were outlined there that distinguished them from other L1s that
What's
are
one of
coming
them?
out. Well, I've just told you, right? Governance. Like look at Algorand. Algorand has governance. They don't have it.
Mm. Do you think there's a reason for it though? Like, what would be the reasons they wouldn't have governance by now? And Algorand would. They just don't want to do it.
No, I'm sure that they'll have it soon, probably, right?
I also think that. So we were talking about a unique project on Algorand that pivoted, right?
Uh,
Like Headline, that was the
yeah,
project, right? And now
yeah,
it's something totally different than what it started as.
yep.
Maybe that's what I think that not I think like I know that that's what happens sometimes when you're running something or doing a project is
Uh-huh.
you pivot. Like we're literally pivoting. Like we're
Hmm.
going from the Bitcoin podcast to hashing it out because
Right.
of different factors sway what you start focusing on as a entity, right? As an organization.
Hmm.
And so I think that's probably what happened with Alpha Labs is they were like, yeah, we had all those plans, but look at what's going on. Look at all this activity on the C chain now. Look at what's
Hmm.
going on. We need to make sure that this stays active and live and safe. So that's where we're focusing now until we have the time to roll out governance or we have the time to roll out um, some of the other things bullet pointed in the whitelist. But I guarantee you, just like Bitcoin, it's very funny. Just like Bitcoin, they're gonna run out of time to focus on those other things, and they'll never
Something
happen.
else will come out and
And
we'll have
something,
everything that they have plus a little bit more.
yep,
Yeah.
that's what happens, right?
Yeah.
That's what happens in crypto. We've seen it with Bitcoin, we've seen it with Litecoin, we've seen it with
Yeah.
Ethereum. Now we're gonna see it with Avalanche too. It's just you run out of time in the day to iterate, and then you've got this whole community that is quote unquote decentralized that maybe not even that maybe doesn't even want that many changes.
Hmm.
So your chain becomes ossified. It becomes what's it,
I think Avalanche is young enough. I think they're young enough that they're still developing.
what's
I've
it
got.
called? Petrified. That's the word I'm looking for. Your chain becomes petrified. Like
I mean, no,
Bitcoin is a
ossification is
petrified chain.
correct. I mean, it's like they slowly lose the ability to be as mobile in the way that they're developing things. I mean, it makes sense what you said before.
Yeah.
Um, Polkadot is. I don't know enough about alternative like L1 solutions, but it seems like everybody's kind of doing the same thing but different. If that makes sense, you know what I
I
mean?
mean, that's life though. I went to Foot Locker the other day. I was like, all these shoes look the same except for the fucking little symbol on the side. Like I was like, does it really matter? Like they're all the same. And then my girl was like, you can't wear Nike shoes with a Reebok shirt. And I was like, I'm not 12.
I wonder if blockchains will be like that. Like,
She's in the other room, so I'm trying to talk quiet because she's nosy. She'll be like, I wasn't saying that. Yes, you were. Anyways, I gotta whisper.
oh man,
I
yeah,
want
I
to
don't know.
enjoy having. Do you know I get to build a studio in my
Yeah,
house, like a studio.
yeah,
Like I'm really excited about that. Like I'm pretty excited about it. Like
that's
my
dope.
pants are tight, bro. Right now, as I'm
Yeah,
talking to you. Yeah. So, but anyways, that is the trend that you see in crypto. So right now, talk of the town for the next 4 years is probably going to be Avalanche. But Avalanche is going to get so big and have so many influences that it's going to get ossified, and there's going to be a newcomer on the block. That's
mhm.
the way these things happen. Unless Avalanche changes the game somehow. But trends in crypto are powerful. Like the big
I mean,
the
but they
Bitcoin
just came out. How are you not going to give them? Like, how much time do you think they have?
dude. Okay, does governance exist on Ethereum? Governance?
I mean,
No, it
not
doesn't. It's
no,
not going
no,
to
it
exist
doesn't.
until ETH
Yeah,
2.0 when the validators can vote on things, right? Like it
but
doesn't
you have
exist.
DAOs, I guess, right? That's kind of like,
Yeah, but that's an
yeah,
individual little micro. That's a little
you want it to
micro.
be chain wide.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
and that's not going to happen, right? Because it
yeah,
just doesn't.
yeah.
Well, it kind of does. Like Bitcoin governance is because of the signaling, right? Block signaling, right? When there's a change, then the miners essentially like start signaling what the change is, and then after so many
Mhm.
blocks, damn, it's hard to keep track of just Bitcoin stuff. You have to keep track of it all. After so many blocks, it becomes the chain, and then the longest chain wins, and all that jazz. But with Ethereum, what's the same, right? Right now, it's just like when the miners start signaling, that's the governance. So I don't know.
I didn't know that. I was watching a lecture on the consensus mechanism that Goon created for Avalanche, and I didn't know that he created it. I don't know if he created it for Bitcoin Cash, but I know that he was talking about how Bitcoin Cash planned to adopt it, and I was like, "Huh, that's interesting." I don't know if they ever did though.
Makes sense. I don't think Goons ever. I think Goons always liked Bitcoin, but they never changed in the ways he wanted it to change.
Huh.
So it makes sense for him to say like, "Oh, Bitcoin Cash," but Bitcoin Cash isn't doing too hot. So that wasn't what you heard it was. That wasn't what you think it was, audience. Alicia, can you please edit that out? What just happened? Edit these. Edit these last 30 seconds out at the 37-minute mark. What are you laughing at?
I don't know. It's
All
just
right.
funny.
So let's get to the brass and tacks here. I have a very look at my surroundings, bro. It's so serene. Like I feel like I'm in a yoga studio.
Hmm.
You know. Where are we at with Dad Dow? We should have a town hall today, by the
Hmm.
way, in
Yeah.
about 20 minutes actually.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, and by the way, the current time is 4:35 p.m. Eastern, and we have town halls weekly at 5 o'clock on Wednesdays, where you
Hmm.
can join the town hall for the Dad Dow, and Jesse and I are like work hanging in there. We'll answer your questions about the current state of where the DAO is going, any roadmap questions you have, any questions about pretty much anything. It's a town hall. Come in, ask the questions, get the answers, and then tell your friends, hey man, this Dad DAO community's pretty cool. You should be a dad like me. He's like, do I have to have a kid? And he's like, yeah, you better get to pumping. And so you get, no, I'm playing. That's not how it works. But you don't have to have a kid. You could just be a crypto dad. So, um, that's it.
Cool.
So, Jesse, you want to give it a shot?
You want to give it a shot? I don't know. Like honestly,
Say something that blows my socks off, bro.
um, well, what I've just been learning quite a bit lately. I've been learning about just developer tooling for doing like web dev stuff, and then
Hmm.
also just like really basic stuff on the like on a low level, like learning Rust, which is basically similar to C, with basically different properties in terms of you don't have to like, I guess, garbage keep memory, and yeah, it's like a strongly typed language, and it's really low level. So I'm playing around with that, making CLI tools, just super basic stuff. On the web dev stuff, I'm just kind of figuring out, relearning, HTML, JavaScript, CSS. I used to know the mean stack. In fact, the Dad DAO website is actually a React single web page. I'm also storyboarding the website interaction for the bounty board, how that will look and how that will feel.
Shouldn't we talk about this in the town hall?
Oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah, we should talk about this in the town hall.
All right.
But why do they call it rust? Does it turn orange when it oxidizes? Like, what's up with that?
I honestly have no idea, but in the documentation, when you're learning Rust, they call themselves rustations. Yeah. I was like, you guys could do, yeah, like you guys could have done better than this, right? Like rustation, like I mean, yeah.
Did you hear that?
I heard something. Why?
Jesus Christ, like a child's toy.
Oh. Come on, let's play.
Jesus.
So what do you want to hear that'll blow your mind? You want a fun fact?
It wasn't rustations, that's for damn sure. Sometimes I feel like, just correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes I feel like coding allows humans to tap in and lean into the inner God complex that everybody has.
Yes.
Because it's like, I'm going to make this a language, and I'm going to call it Rust, and it's going to be rustations, and you must learn rustations. And it's like, what the hell, bro? Like, this is whack.
There are really smart people who, just all over the comp sci.
I will say this. Of all the people and personalities I've met over a long lifetime of meeting people and personalities, I will say coders, really good coders, are the most attuned with their God complex. Everybody's got one. Everybody's got a tiny one where they're like, I am obviously a God. Like, look at me. Look at what I am, a human. I make things. Like, look at me. I'm abstracting into oblivion. Look at me, big old human here. Look at me, God. I'm a God. Everybody has that complex, right? You've probably thought of that a couple times, at least twice in your life.
I mean, I don't know if I got that feeling from coding.
Like,
but
think about if you pounded like a 3x dosage of pre-workout. You go to the gym.
Here, let me tell you the most, like, the state of humanity I was in when I most felt like I was on top of the world. I was so jacked, right? So strong. I could bench more than 1.5 times my weight, squat more than double, deadlift triple, like one arm, like move like over 100 pounds worth of like a dumbbell weight. And it's just like I wanted somebody to like fight me, right?
Yes, that's called a God complex.
Well, it's
right
not
there.
A God complex, but I felt like that, right? That was awesome. I can understand why people go on testosterone, by the way.
Yeah, you were probably like, I could probably take some matter and create a planet, right? If I smack my hands hard enough, because they are so strong, I will create my own Big Bang. And a universe will appear. Like, that's, every human has a God complex. It's part of us. It's why we do weird stuff.
You know that people outside of crypto, they look at people in crypto and they say they what is the word?
I don't know. People probably say all kinds of stuff.
They have hubris, right?
Yeah.
Everything in the space it comes out of hubris, right? Which is excessive pride or self-confidence that what we can create in this space is better than anything else that has come before it, right?
Because it is right now.
I mean, that's what the developers think. They think that they're going to solve everything.
I think it too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it too. I think that digital cash is a huge evolution in human technology.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Huge. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna take thousands of years for this to sink into human existence as how pivotal and game changing it was. So the hubris is understandable,
Hmm.
right?
Well, I guess it's the people who think that they can solve social problems, which are like political
Oh yeah,
problems at
that
the end of the
stuff's
day,
silly.
right?
That stuff is silly to me because it's like you can't just solve humanity. Like humans are weird.
I think at the end of the day, crypto has given us digital money,
Mhm.
whatever, store of value, cash, depending on how cheap the blockchain is. Bitcoin wouldn't be cash, but could be a store of value. It gave us that,
Yeah.
right? That's what crypto gave us.
Yeah.
All this, layered, we're gonna have
Cure
world
cancer
peace.
by
Yeah, exactly.
folding protein. I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know. I don't think
Mm,
that's how this thing works.
mm. Sorry, my brain just wandered off into the world of folding proteins. But anyways, we need to wrap this thing.
Yeah.
Uh and we need to so please be tuned to and primed to share a competition that we are going to have as our final kumbaya of the Bitcoin podcast. As you guys know who listened last week, we're shutting it down at 400 episodes and then rebranding all the way to hashing it out. It's going to be, we're really excited about that because we think it allows us to just explore our new curiosity in this space, right? It started with Bitcoin, but things are bigger than Bitcoin. That's what Corey said last week is a great thing to say because things are bigger than Bitcoin. And but before we do that, we want to leave it with a bang for you guys. So as you listen, be ready to hear things and be ready to share things because it'll increase your chances to win a thing. Oh,
I have no
oh
idea what
shit.
you're talking about, but it
Don't
it,
worry
it
about it,
seems
Jesse. You don't even know, but
enticing.
I
Oh, okay.
know.
Okay.
And I think that you guys are going to be pleasantly surprised with little bit of a giveaway, if you will, a little bit of a competition, right? So stay tuned and then be ready to tell all your friends. So I got nothing less to add. Jesse. We can close this bad boy out. It's a nice chill episode. Usually we get into some shenanigans, but I'm really proud of me and you today.
I think
We
we
didn't get
kept
into
it pretty on
we
point.
we kept it good. So
Kept it crypto.
if you want to listen to the episodes a little bit early, including hashing out when it starts, you become a patron. You can give us money every month and you get things. And one of the primary things you get is that your cell phone, bro?
Yeah, yeah.
Golly, this is a show. This is a podcast, Jesse.
It's for the
Golly.
meeting that's coming up soon, I think. Yeah.
Golly. You can become a patron. Give us a little bit every month. You get to hear the episodes early. You also get exclusive access to the patron channel in our Slack, where you have just a little bit more access and frequent visitation from Corey, Jesse, and myself. We don't do things in there like give investment advice or give trading tips, but what we will do is answer some very technical questions you might have, or if you're trying to get on ramp to something you don't quite understand, or if you're trying to get some extreme alpha from Andy Boyan, then that's what you can hop in there for. What else do we do? We do other things. What do we do? We've got Slack. Please join the Slack. We talk about the Slack all the time. Go to the bitcoinpodcast.com/Slack and join up.
Oh,
Huh?
Linktree. Linktree.
Oh, there's a
If
link
you're
tree.
if you're one of the new people who needs a Bitcoin wallet and a hardware wallet, we have a Linktree dedicated for um, basically all our affiliate links for all of the main hardware wallet companies.
Hmm. What else? Um, that link tree's pretty boss, by the way. Yeah, we have affiliates with hardware wallets, and hardware wallets keep you secure. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, that's an Apple Podcast little icon there, unless it's changed. But that means that you can give us 5 stars, and then that shows everybody that like how cool you are, right? Like, if you're not giving this episode 5 stars, then you're not that cool. But if you're giving this episode, not this episode, this podcast, period, 5 stars, you're pretty cool person, So do that, do that. What else do we do? Oh my God, if this is shout outs. I don't know who that is. I got no clue who that is. That looks like one of my exes. Shit, I don't know who is that. Alicia?
I don't know who these people are.
Yeah, I don't know who any of these people are. I think this is a test. I think Alicia's testing my ability to Brandy Carly. Is
I
that
don't know
person?
who that is.
She's testing my ability to identify Caucasian celebrities because I typically am good at identifying not Caucasian celebrities. But I see what you're doing, Alicia. Yeah, that's Jason Derulo. So, oh my God, she's proving her own point. And that's Doja Cat. I know these people. I know who these people are. Shout out to Doja Cat. Now that's Paul Rudd. I know who that is. Shout out to Paul Rudd. That's Usher Raymond or Usher, if you want to call him. Yeah, I don't know who that is. She looks like her name's Tiffany though. And then that's really small. I can't really see it, but and I don't. He's got a forehead the size of mine. Holy cow! Large forehead on that guy. I don't know who he is. I think that's not Masego. I don't know who that is either. Let's go ahead and wrap these shoutouts out with old long neck and wide face because these are all people I don't know. So I know who that guy is. That's me. Shout out to me and my third eye. That's right. I have a third eye. It's Negrodamus. All right. Shout out to Zoe Saldana. And play the outro.